Hi and welcome to Big Centre What's On, the show that does exactly what it says on the tin. I'm Chanel Shay Calvin, and in today's show we're going to be visiting two of the Midlands' top family attractions and talking to the singer whose new album is causing a stir within the music industry. But first, there are so many gigs and performances happening here in the Midlands, and we want to let you know what's on. Over the Easter break, our Big Centre design team have been hard at work redesigning my screen, and we hope that you like the new look home. So, if you haven't seen it before, here's how it works. Below me, you'll see all the gigs and comedy shows that are happening this week. While at the same time, here on my left, are the events, theatre, shows, concerts, theme parks and family days out happening in our area. In future shows, we'll be featuring our regular reviewers who'll be talking about their particular passion, from a vibrant club scene, rock music, the arts, local theatre to jazz and blues. Here on Big Centre What's On, we want to hear about your events, shows or gigs, and our contact details can be seen on the bottom of the screen. Recently, we sent our reporters out to two of the top family attractions in the area. So if you're looking for somewhere to take the kids or even to enjoy yourselves, here's the first of their reports.
Celebrations are in order as Drayton Manor Theme Park opens its expansion project just in time for the school Easter holidays. Thomasland has been 2 years in the making and is expected to attract thousands of visitors.
The Thomasland expansion was a very much needed item because during the time we've had the original Thomas, we had such a capacity problem. Now we've increased the capacity by about 1,000 people an hour by putting in some more rides.
So how much money has been put into this expansion?
We're just over 3 million by the time we've added all the marketing and all the advertising and everything else, and it's going to be an absolute stunning project.
And it's not only the children who are reaping the benefits of the new project.
Well, Drayton Manor Park plays a big role in the local community, and that also goes with our construction teams and our suppliers. So we're quite proud to say that sort of 90% plus of the supplies that were used in building the extension were sourced locally from local merchants. And the same with the contractors used on site. We're blessed with some great skills in the area, and we used, again, local contractors to build the extension.
Thomasland, when we first put it in 2008, increased the workload by about 100 people. We're going to add another 20 for this. We get at least 95% of all our people from within the locale, and Tamworth is an exceptionally good source of young people wanting to have their first jobs, and they stay with us for years.
With just a few days left of the Easter holidays, both Thomas and the Fat Controller are looking forward to welcoming thousands of visitors to their new home.
My guest in today's show shares his time between his hometown of Birmingham and the USA. But before I introduce him, let's watch one of his songs from his new album.
Look at the stars, how they shine for you. And everything you do, they were all yellow. I came along, wrote a song for you. All the things that you do, and it was called Yellow. So then I took my turn. Oh, what a thing to have done. And it was all yellow. Your skin, your only skin and bones, turned into something beautiful. You know I love you so. You know I love you so. I swam across jumped across for you. Oh, what a thing to do, 'cause you were all yellow. Drew a line for you. Oh, what a thing to do, and it was all yellow. Your skin, your only skin and bones, turned into something beautiful. You know, for you I bleed myself dry. For you I bleed myself dry. Look how they shine for you. For you. Look how they shine for you. For you. Look how they shine. Look how they shine. For you. For you. Look how they shine for you. Look how they shine. For you. Look how they shine. Look how they shine. Your skin. Your skin. Oh yes, your skin and bones turned into something beautiful. You know, for you I bleed myself dry. Bleed myself dry. I bleed myself dry.
Hi, Brad Henshaw, and welcome to Big Centre, What's On?
Thank you very much.
Thank you for joining me. So the music video we just saw was actually the song Yellow. Where was that shot and why did you choose that song?
Well, it's a Coldplay song, and we decided to do that. A friend of mine, John Dewsbury, who works at Rich Bitch Studios in Birmingham, we were messing around with some songs, and we came up with Yellow, and it just came out in a different way. So we decided to make a rendition of that, and then in conjunction with that, we decided to do a video. So John came out to the USA with me, and we had a couple of guys film it out there in North Carolina in the USA.
So you're back and forth between the USA and here?
I am kind of, yeah.
How do you actually balance that lifestyle then?
Well, it's difficult with the jet lag, I can tell you. It never gets any easier. But no, it works quite well now. I mean, I think people, you know, commuting-wise, it's like 7 hours really on a plane, and so it works all right for me. And you know, I have management in Birmingham, and so I have to come back here. But also, we're interested in getting to the US with the songs and with the album, you know.
Oh, so it's quite nice to make sure that you interest people like nationwide as well, which I think will be.
Well, yeah, I mean,
really
you know,
good
it's important that we
aspects.
reach out to different areas of the industry, and that's what we hope this album's going to do.
So looking for your website, it says that you're an actor, musician and songwriter, which I think is pretty amazing. Why did you actually want to be in the performing industry in general?
Well, it kind of started really from when I was a kid. You know, my dad was a pianist and my mum was a singer, and around some of the bars, some of the pubs in Birmingham, old school. And I had a school band and I was into all that stuff, and then worked my way up, you know, and took the long road, to be honest. And it's difficult, but it's something I've always enjoyed doing, I've always loved doing and had a passion for. So I've been fortunate enough to work with a lot of great people in the industry and a lot of great people in the Midlands. You know, people like Ruby Turner's manager, who's now managing me here, Jeff Pearce, and you know, it's great to be in the industry, even though it's evolving and changing all the time. I think it's important that you know, you keep the passion and love for something you enjoy.
Yeah, because I guess if it's something you enjoy that you love, you're not technically, I guess you're working, but you are enjoying it whilst you're working, so it sort of takes the...
Well, it does, you know, it has its ups and downs, you know, but at the end of the day, it's something that is pleasurable in many respects.
Did anyone inspire you in particular, like a band or a person?
Well, I've always liked some of the great singers, you know, like Mr. Tom Jones going back in the day, and people like Michael McDonald, James Ingram, and some of the great songwriters, which is why the album's important to us, because we've got, you know, 10 great tracks on an album, some of the biggest selling rock songs of the last 15 years or so. And we wanted to re-establish those songs again and make people fall in love with the songs all over again, which is why we covered the songs that we did, you know. Yeah, a lot of inspirations there from the Motown era as well. people like Otis Redding, Marvin Gaye in particular as well.
Oh wow, so going back to your album's actually called, is it Rock Symphony?
Yeah, Rock Symphonique.
How did you actually choose what songs actually go on the album?
Well, it was a long process, you know. John Dewsbury, my co-collaborator on this album and a mentor to me, we went through reams of songs, you know, to try and find the right songs that we could do a different interpretation of. Because I think that if you're going to do a copy of a song, I think it's important that you do, firstly, do it justice. And I think, secondly, that you do something different to it, you know. I never really understand artists that basically copy the original template, you know.
Yeah.
Unless there's certain elements of that template that, you know, you can't better.
We'll be back with more from Brad Henshaw after the break. Welcome back to Big Centre What's On, the show that does exactly what it says on the tin. With me in this week's show is the singer-songwriter Brad Henshaw, and we're talking to him more about his new album, Rock Symphonique, in a few moments. If you're just joining us or a newcomer to the show, here's how our screen works. Below me, you'll see all the gigs and comedy shows that are happening this week. While at the same time, here on my left, are the events, theatre shows, concerts, theme parks and family days out happening in our area. But first, here's our second report from one of the region's premier days out attractions.
The West Midlands Safari Park have welcomed new creatures this year, which are proving to be very popular with guests.
Well, this concept has been 3 years and £2.5 million in the making, and what we've ended up with is nearly 40 dinosaurs, and what I call all singing, all swinging, all dancing dinosaurs, because the mouth, the eyes, the neck, the tail all move, and they even breathe. They look as real as they could ever possibly do, and of course you've got the audio, which you can probably hear in the background. No one can really vouch for the authenticity of the audio because no one's ever been around long enough to have heard it for real, but it sounds pretty impressive, and it's proving very, very popular. Oh, the reaction's been phenomenal. It's a mixture of incredulity and perhaps scary, but it's very, very popular, particularly with the children, because we have a statutory duty in a zoo to provide education and to make education stick in the young, agile mind these days. You've got to make it interesting and fun, and I think this ticks both boxes.
So I've had a little bit of a walk around. It looks like there's some bits of interaction as well that children can take part in.
Yes, again, you've got to involve children to make it memorable and interesting, and it's proving very, very popular, and that's the sort of thing that does stick in the mind. They can take away mental images of the sound, the moving animals, but if they're actually doing something as part of that, it does stay in the memory far longer. We've got nearly 40 dinosaurs spread across the whole range of what we call the dinosaur age, which ended about 65 million years ago. The popular misconception is that the dinosaurs died out. They didn't actually die out, because the lineage of most of our birds in the modern world actually can be traced back to the age of the dinosaurs, because when the mass extinction occurred, the smaller creatures like birds did survive it, and today's birds, everything from the flightless ostrich that we have here in the park down to the humble house sparrow that might be sitting on your studio window back at base now, can be traced back to the dinosaur. So keep your windows shut.
The Land of the Living Dinosaurs is a permanent exhibit at the park.
As I said before, we have Brad Henshaw with us today. Thank you. So just before the break, we're talking about your new album, Rock Symphonique. When is it being released?
Well, the album's out on the 27th of April, and the first single off the album, Dakota, is out on the 13th. So people can check that out at the website, or they can go onto YouTube and look at the video, and we hope people will have a look at it, for us.
And what is your website in case people...
It's www.bradhenshaw.com.
Pretty simple then, just your name.
Very simple.
Yeah, talking of your website, so I was looking through it, and I saw your video and I thought it was really beautifully shot as well, which I think was really impressive. So how did you actually do that?
Well, we shot it at a place called Jordan Lakes, which is in North Carolina, which is where I'm kind of living between at the moment, and so we shot it there quite early in the morning and in and around the neighbourhood, from there.
The album in general, did you collaborate with anyone at all?
Yeah, I did. Well, the major part of the album was done between two of us. There's a guy named John Dewsbury, and the pair of us come up with the concept, and that's how the album came to be.
And also on your website, I saw who you've been working with, and I saw so many fantastic names. Do you want to mention a few and say what it was like?
Well, I hate really name dropping,
Don't
but
name drop.
yeah, well, I've done name drop. Well, I've worked with Whitney Houston, I've worked with P. Diddy, I've worked with Jamie Cullen,
Oh,
and Spandau
wow.
Ballet, and a few other bands like that. And yeah, it's been an interesting ride, you know.
So going back to your album then, and as you, obviously you mentioned how you select songs and stuff, what else can we sort of expect from you? Is it all in one sort of genre, or is it a bit of a variety?
Well, no, it's a concept really that we had to do a couple of albums. We have a second album that we're working on at the moment, but the first album, it really sets the stall out for us and sets the standard quite high. We work with members of Birmingham Symphony Orchestra on the album, and some of the great musicians are in and around the Midlands. And so yeah, it's something that we really want to push on with and push forward with, and we really enjoyed what we've done with it, and we hope the people out there will too.
How can people listen to your album then when it's been released?
Well, they can go onto the website and they can have a look on YouTube as well, and they can buy the album, more importantly. So yeah, that's how to get hold of it. It's going to be up on iTunes and Amazon and various different platforms. So yeah.
How's your career been going so far? Like, what do you think of it?
Of my career?
Yeah.
Well, I would think it was pretty good, wouldn't it? No, it's good. It's good. I enjoy it, and I think being diverse has helped me fulfil my potential as an artist in different areas, because you know, I enjoy music is really my first thing, you know. But over the years, I've been asked to do various different projects. I'm heavily involved with theatre at some points in my career. I've had a TV career at one particular point as well.
Oh, wow, so you're really multi-talented then.
Well, yeah, I appeared in The Bill for a couple of episodes and a few things like that. But music really is where it's at for me, and certainly this album has took up a great deal of time, because it took a lot to put it together, and yeah, that's what it is.
So going back to like other things that you do, like the shows that you've produced, what shows have you produced?
Well, I got involved with a show called The Official Tribute to the Blues Brothers a few years ago, which is a David Pugh production, and it's officially sanctioned by Dan Aykroyd and Judy Belushi, who I know quite well now. And it's a show that a lot of people out there, I'm sure, would have seen play at the Hippodrome with the Alex.
Yeah.
And we've been at the West End on 5 different occasions. We toured the US, and we had a residency in Chicago for a while. So it's a big theatre show. It's a cult show, and that's given you various platform for various different angles to come from, and it's great theatre. You know, it's a bit of fun, and it's a good night out. And we'll be playing in Nottingham, I think, on the 4th of July. Is one of the shows we're doing locally. So yeah.
So you're great. So obviously your hands are full. You've got the show, you've got the album, you've got the single coming out. Just remind people one more time, when is your album out, and also when is your single as well?
Well, the single's out on the 13th of this month, which is a couple of days away, and the album's out on the 27th. And you can purchase it from Amazon, I think, or from iTunes, or go to the website, register, and we'll send you some information relating to that. Yeah, but it's there it is.
Yeah, so thank you very much. Hopefully people will look out for that. I know that I will personally. So I just want to say thank you.
Thank you.
Don't forget, if you want to be included in our show, our contact details are at the bottom of the screen. So thanks to Brad Henshaw, and to play us out, here's his new single, Dakota, which has been released on the 13th.
Thinking back, thinking of you. Summertime, think it was June. Yeah, I think it was June. Laying back, head in the grass, chewing gum, having some laughs. Yeah, having some laughs. Drinking back, drinking for two, drinking with you, when drinking was new. Sleeping in the back of my car, didn't need to go far.